Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're tackling a feeling that, let's be honest, way too many hardworking folks know all too well. It's that incredibly frustrating feeling of following all the traditional financial advice, doing exactly what you were told to do, and yet somehow still feeling completely stuck. If you're a focused learner looking to finally understand why the math just doesn't seem to add up for you, you are in the exact right place.
Let me ask you a really honest question right out of the gate, directly from our source material today. Have you ever done everything they told you to do and still felt broke? Just think about it for a second. You went to school, you got the job, you show up every single day working hard. You even managed to be disciplined enough to scrape some money together and save a little bit every month. And yet, you get to the end of the year, you look at your accounts, and you realize you're in almost the exact same place you started.
It's beyond frustrating. But here is the massive revelation. The rules you were given, the ones your parents swore by, the ones your teachers repeated, the ones society still totally celebrates today, those rules were written for a world that literally no longer exists. You've basically been navigating your financial life using a completely broken map, drawn decades ago for a fundamentally different economy.
I really want to reassure you right off the bat here. If your savings account is barely moving, despite all your hard work, it is not because you're lazy. It's not a motivation problem. It is absolutely not a discipline problem. It's a system problem. You are where you are because nobody ever sat you down and taught you the truth about how modern wealth actually works. Okay, let's dive into this, because this next point goes against pretty much everything you've probably been taught. Saving money does not make you wealthy. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you shouldn't save. Saving is a super important foundation, but saving alone, the way most people do it, it's actually a slow, invisible way of losing your money. Hoarding cash in a traditional box is a trap. And here is exactly why saving alone is such a trap. Right now, inflation, which is really just the rate at which the cost of living goes up, is running between 3 and 6% in most countries. Sometimes it's even higher than that. That means every single year you do nothing with your money, it quietly loses that exact percentage in purchasing power. It is this silent force working against you 24/7.
And this brilliantly illustrates the problem. Your standard savings account is probably giving you, maybe 1 to 2% interest? Meanwhile, inflation is sitting way up there at 3 to 6%. That gap between what your money earns and what inflation takes is silently eating your savings alive. You aren't building wealth. You're just treading water in a river that's moving way faster than you can swim.
For decades, your school, your employer, and basic financial advice handed you exactly half the map. And then they told you to wonder why you never found the treasure. The wealthy have always known about inflation, and they don't just save, they own things that grow. So it's time we look at the other half of that map. It's time to look at the exact shifts the wealthy use.
So, we're going to cover 5 actionable financial shifts to help you escape the middle-class trap: putting money to work, choosing assets, decoupling time and income, learning daily, and starting now.
All right, shift 1, put money to work.
Picture this. You've got $1,000. If you put it in a traditional savings account, in 5 years with typical interest, you have about $1,080. Okay, not great. But if you take that exact same $1,000 and put it into an index fund, say one tracking the top 500 U.S. companies, which historically averages a 10% return per year, in 5 years, that $1,000 becomes roughly $1,600. It's the same money, the exact same discipline, but a completely different outcome purely because the money actually went out and did the work for you. That brings us to shift 2, assets versus liabilities. This might sound a bit technical, but it's an absolutely critical distinction to make, and the definition is actually super simple. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. A lot of people out there think their paycheck is an asset. It's not. It's just a transaction. It shows up and then it leaves. A true asset is a rental property that earns rent every month, a stock that pays dividends, or a business you built that runs without you. Liabilities? Those are the new cars, the upgraded phones, the fancy furniture bought on credit that cost you monthly and just go down in value over time. So how does this play out in real life? Well, it's a high-contrast reality. The middle class spends most of its income on liabilities and calls it living well. The wealthy do the exact opposite. They spend their income building assets first, and then, and this is key, they use the income generated from those assets to fund their lifestyle. Changing the order to assets before lifestyle creates more wealth than literally any other single habit.
Moving right along to shift 3, decouple time from income.
Look, there are only 24 hours in a day, right?
which puts a hard mathematical ceiling on your income if you're just trading hours for dollars. To move that ceiling, you have to earn money in ways that don't require your physical presence. Your job is a great foundation for sure, but it shouldn't be the whole building. You can decouple your time from your income by investing in markets, creating digital tools or content that sell while you're literally sleeping, or building a small side business. You use a portion of what your job pays you to build these independent income streams.
Next up, Shift 4. Prioritize financial education.
It's kind of a harsh irony that most of us will spend way more time researching which new smartphone to buy than we do learning how money actually works. But here's the truth. Ignorance is incredibly expensive. And man, it charges interest. When you make financial decisions from a place of ignorance, the bank hits you with avoidable fees. You leave money rotting in low-yield accounts, and you miss out on basic tax deductions. Just 20 minutes a day of learning, reading a book, watching an explainer like this one, can completely transform your decision-making power. The wealthy aren't necessarily smarter than you, they're simply more informed about the game being played.
So, the crucial point here, Shift 5, the power of compound interest.
Here's what compound interest means in plain English. It's when your money earns a return, and then that return also earns a return. Your money basically multiplies itself. It happens kind of slowly at first, but then it picks up speed, and eventually it just grows explosively.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the visual shock of how time works in your favor. Someone who starts investing just $100 a month at age 25 will end up with more money at age 65 than someone who starts investing $200 a month at age 35. Think about that. The 25-year-old contributed half the money but ended up with more wealth. The only difference is time. The best time to start was years ago. The second best time is today, with whatever you have.
Ultimately, escaping this trap requires a complete shift in your identity. You have to stop seeing yourself as just an employee of your life, asking, how do I save more? You must become the true owner of your financial future, asking, how do I build something that grows? You aren't behind because you failed. You were just handed an outdated map. But now you have the right one.
So, I want to leave you with an action step and a bit of a challenge. Go look at your savings account today, and don't do it to feel bad about the number, but to honestly ask yourself, is your money actually working for you or is it just sitting there? Asking that one simple question is the beginning of a completely different financial life. I'd love to hear from you on this. What is the one financial rule you grew up with that you are finally starting to question? Drop a comment below and let's keep the real education going. Catch you in the next explainer.